got two of you. Welcome. Welcome to FirstGlance.
Hello. Hi.
Hi. Before we start, I just want to say that obviously we have to be doing this remotely, and we couldn't do these interviews without our partnership with It's a Short. So thank you to you guys for making this all possible. Well, welcome. We have Brittany Snyman, who is producer, I believe, on the film we're about to talk about. And Wes, you're the director.
Yes.
Awesome. I love that. So I got to see the film this week, which I don't always get a chance to do. And I so enjoyed this. I really, really enjoyed this. It was so tense for me watching it in a good way. And I just thought how brilliant it was that you can create that in 10 minutes, that level of tension. So that's a testament to you, Wes, and to your brilliant actors. So I just wanted to share that with you. I'm going to start though with a question for Brittany. So we don't often get to talk to producers, and I'd love you to speak a little bit on your role in this project. And, you know, maybe specifically if there were obstacles and how you were able to overcome them. It's just great for us to get a producer's perspective for once. So, yeah, we'd love to hear that.
Yeah, definitely. So, yeah, I was the producer. I also did the SFX in the film as well. I also technically helped write it with Chloe. So I guess I had a fairly large part in the film. And it's actually filmed in my house, too.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So as the producer, you know, we were searching for a location, and I threw up my house as a spot. And so if you notice, like the red walls in the bedroom, we painted that for the film.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Because of me.
Did you keep them red, or did you paint them back again?
So actually we were moving out, so I no longer live in that house anymore. And we were moving out, and so we asked the landlord if we could just paint it, and they were like, yeah, sure, because we're just going to repaint the whole house anyways. So
that's amazing.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Awesome. And like, were there any challenges that came up that as you had to put your producer hat on and figure it out, or was it quite a smooth shoot?
Wes, I feel like it went fairly smoothly, actually. I think time, of course, you know, there's never enough time. So we were trying to rush for that. But
I was going to say, like, the biggest challenge was happened in pre-production where, so the finale of the film, we needed basically like, we needed to blast light through a window.
Yeah.
But where we were filming, we were, you know, pretty high up in like a 4-story townhouse, and so there was no way to really get a light outside of that window.
Right.
So we actually took part of the bedroom set down to the first floor, painted like a quarter of the wall red, and just treated it like it was the upstairs bedroom.
I love that. It's the magic of movie making. That's awesome. And how long was your shoot?
2 days.
2 days. Yeah.
2 days. Brilliant. Awesome. Yeah. I wonder when you have your story. How see? I have never written anything. I've never directed anything or produced anything. So, is there ever a point where you know you have X amount of time and X amount of dollars, and do you ever feel like you have to make creative compromises in producing a short, making a short?
Definitely.
All the time.
Yeah.
How do you go about making those decisions without, because it's like your baby, so it's so difficult, I imagine, to have to come with it with an open mind and be like, okay, you know, this, I don't know, this needs to go, or we don't have time for that. Like, how is it an emotional experience for you guys?
It definitely is. And so it was Chloe and I actually wrote it we were on a road trip back from another film festival, and we wrote it in the car actually on the way back. And I feel like it started with the scene of her son dying as like the old man. And that was kind of the scene that Chloe had in her head, and we kind of built the whole rest of the film around that. So I would say, like, since it started with that scene, we would be unwilling to lose that scene, you know?
Because it's part of the project.
Exactly, yeah. And so we kind of built it around that. And sometimes, you present it to even like Wes, right? As the director, we presented it to him and asked if he wanted to direct it. And I'm sure there's things that Wes had ideas for that we were like, that's actually better than what we had. So, you're willing to make those compromises as well.
So it was a real collaboration, this film.
Yeah, definitely.
And Wes, for you, what was a highlight for working on this film? What was a personal highlight for you? Was it your first time directing, or had you directed something before?
No, I've done a lot of short films. So I'm also a DP. I was a cinematographer on the short as well, and I've DP'd close to like 30 shorts and directed like 15, I think. I don't know. I've lost track at this point.
You're an old pro. Sorry, I didn't want to interrupt you. Carry on.
Personal highlight was just kind of playing, like kind of what you said about the tension, kind of creating, like finding creative ways to, showcase tension within their relationship. And for me, I think like the highlight was kind of the scene where the boy tries with the bat, like tries to, kill the vampire.
Yes, sure.
And then doing like the slow motion to create all the tension in that moment. So that was probably the biggest highlight for me.
Yeah, you did an amazing job. I was like,
thank you.
like literally on the edge of my seat. Yeah, it was fantastic. And like part of me wanted to know more about them. So do you think do you have any plans to expand on the short? Like, could it potentially become a pilot or a movie or a web series, or just, I was like, I wanted to know more about these characters and see, where they came from, like life before and life after. Is it something that you guys have thought about or might consider in the future?
Yeah. So actually, Chloe and I are actually working on a feature version of it. It's not the exact film. We took pieces from it. It's probably actually more of like a prequel to it. So that is currently being worked on right now.
Watch this space. Maybe we'll see you back in a couple of years at FirstGlance with a full-length feature.
Yeah, definitely.
Is it your first time at this festival, guys?
It is.
Yes.
For me, at least. Yeah.
Yep.
Welcome. And what would you say from working on this particular project that you will take with you into your next projects? Like, what did you learn from this that you think that you can take with you moving forward? Because we always learn something, don't we?
Yeah.
Some new gem. You're like, oh yeah, great. So let's start with you, Wes.
For me personally, it's kind of going back to that pre-production challenge. It's like actually just thinking kind of outside the box of like how you can pull something off, because like initially the conversations were, like how we were going to hang a light off of like the roof and blast into this window. And I forget whose idea it was, but like they said, like, why don't we just cheat half of like the set downstairs to where it was more practical to film? So it's just kind of like there's always a solution. You just have to be creative in solving the problems.
Yeah, absolutely. And what about you, Brittany? What do you think? Yeah.
I actually learned a lot about SFX on this only because I had to come up with blood that she could drink.
Yeah.
So if Chloe had like her blood wine, and so I had to come up with something that wasn't like the typical like corn syrup blood, because she was drinking it so often. I thought that would be kind of gross. So I made it taste a little bit better. I had gotten corn syrup that was like vanilla flavored, and I mixed in powdered sugar with it too, which made it thicker. So it looked more like the viscous, thick blood, and then just like the red food dye, like normal, probably a little bit of black. But it was a recipe I've never used before, and I didn't find it online. I kind of just played around with stuff. But I think that's super helpful for the future, and I'm sure for the feature it'll be helpful for that too.
So working in SFX is kind of a new avenue. Like it's something that you hadn't done a great deal of before.
I had never made that recipe before. So actually I met Wes because I reached out for a short film for SFX. So that's actually how I kind of got started into film, was SFX related. Yeah.
Beautiful. And tell me a little bit about your actors. How did you find all your actors? There's always a lot of actors that enjoy watching these interviews. So it's great to hear about the casting process for them.
So Chloe, who played Molly in the film, the vampire, she's the one who I wrote the film with. So she was very easy to cast. And then Rachel played Elysia, and Chloe actually had met Rachel a couple, I think, years prior on a different set. And then Rachel ended up auditioning as well. I think it was totally random. And we just ended up watching her audition tape, and we really liked it. So it was helpful that I think Chloe had already had that connection.
There was definitely great chemistry between those girls. It was it was real magic. Beautiful. And Wes, when you're looking for talent to work with, how do you go into the casting process? Are you looking for people with their own point of view? Are you looking for people that you can mold? Tell us a little bit about what you look for.
Definitely their own point of view, but I just try to think of the script that's written and who I can actually envision in that role. And it's a tough choice sometimes whenever you get hundreds of auditions and you have to narrow it down to a couple to go after. And I thought Rachel, it was the perfect fit for the role.
Yeah, beautiful. Well, guys, I so enjoyed watching the movie, and I'm super excited to get the chance to talk to you tonight. I wish you so much luck with this. What's the plan for the short from here on out? Do you guys have a plan for it? Are you taking it somewhere else? Is this the first outing?
Brittany can answer that better than I can.
So I think eventually we'll probably want to release it online. I think a lot of it's dependent upon the feature and the direction that goes in terms of funding and kind of the direction of that. But we have submitted it to other film festivals as well. So right now, sticking with the festival route and maybe online release depending on how the feature trajectory goes.
Amazing. That's great. Well, I will keep my eye out. Thank you, Wes. Thank you, Brittany, so much.
Thank you.
I wish you all the best.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming to FirstGlance. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Have a good night.